Let's share up.
Coffee. All right, guys, we're back on. Sorry, I just disconnected for a moment. Welcome back.
So at the end of the comp plan training, you guys, we are going to do our panel where you can ask us what you want. We're going to get raw and real with you. And we're going to give away this whole President's Pack because it was a pain to bring it in here and we don't want to take it back. So you guys are going home with stuff. Can you get excited about that? So I'll tell you, this always seems to happen to me at this event. Last night at like 11 o'clock midnight, after 2 Moscow Mules, I redid the slides. I was like, I don't think that's what I wanted to do. And I'm like asking Trisha, I'm like, what do you think about this? What do you think about this? She's like, I think I want to go to bed. But here was the struggle, is I always get to train on like the emotional stuff because people don't see that side of me. On a day-to-day basis, I'm a red. Who here knows what a red is? Like, and my friends are like, oh, the red, oh, here she is, right? Like, I'm like anal about the time, like, I work the numbers, like, I have these blueprints inside and out. You love it. But when I train, you guys get to see a different side of me, right? You'll hear me talk about, like, my why, the vision, and what I love about this opportunity. And we did a Zoom call a few weeks ago, and we were talking through about, we wanted Super Saturday to be a little bit different. We wanted to really focus on the beliefs. And it was like, oh, I'm going to do the belief in this, oh, I'm going to do the belief in this, oh, I'm going to do that one. And I was like, I just ended up with a comp plan? Like, how'd that happen? But the cool thing is I love the comp plan. I love everything about it. I think Jim Cooper is amazing. I think Isagenix is incredibly generous. But I was like, where's the heart in this a little bit? So you guys got to play with me. We're going to go in and out of like the numbers and a little bit of like why this is available for everybody. Does that sound okay? Okay, before I do that though, can we get a huge round of applause for Natalie, for Trisha, for Scott, for Lauren, for everyone. There has been phenomenal training today, phenomenal quotes. I can't wait to see this Periscope recording, but every time I look over on that camera, I was like, hearts, 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 hearts. And I don't even know what that means, but I think it's a good thing, right? There's the way people can throw like rotten tomatoes. That would be a bummer.
Yeah, hearts.
So, I want to start with a little bit about my story. And I love what Scott was just saying about sometimes we borrow other people's belief. And sometimes you have to wear the lenses that somebody else has before you have your own. Would you guys agree with that? A little bit? So I was fortunate enough to be mentored very closely by Janet Elo. Who here knows Janet Elo? I mean, that is the best gift that probably has ever happened to me, especially in my adult life. But every single day, I had this woman just pour greatness in me. When I had no clue what I was doing, she was like, you're going to be a millionaire in this company. You're going to the top. You're going to be on stage with a big fat check. I can't wait for you to train. I'm getting on the phone with Travis Garza. Oh my God, Eric Cooper's calling your cell phone. Make sure you have it by you. And I was like, who's this woman? Like, who are these people? And I had no idea, but she saw something. And Janny's absolute gift in this organization, in this company, on this planet, is she sees people with so much potential that are so stuck. She sees people that have a lot of skill, a lot of drive, incredible work ethic, incredible heart, incredible integrity, and they're in the wrong vehicle. So when we started a few hours ago, do you guys remember when Natalie asked if we could look at things differently? Are you guys looking at things a little bit differently? A little bit? So I grew up in a household that after high school, you went to college. And after college, these days we were going to grad school because if you wanted to make a certain income, a bachelor's wasn't enough. And things got harder as you got older because they were more competitive, right? So you wanted to get good grades in undergrad to get into the right grad school program. And then you would have this good job. And that was my upbringing. That was my story. And I found myself just after my 30th birthday in a story that was anything but exceptional. Everything was average. So I had average jobs, average boyfriend, average car, average apartment, average clothes, right? Average social life, I even had one, average everything. I would never want to complain, you know, there was things to always be grateful for, but I was not excited. I didn't wake up with passion, I didn't wake up with purpose, I wasn't going to bed fulfilled, I was overworked, I was overwhelmed, I was buried in debt, I was exhausted, and anybody who knew me then, I was very irritable. Would you guys agree? Some of you? My sister's like, you used to never answer the phone when you called. It's true. And so shortly after my 30th birthday, when I didn't ever think things were bad because I didn't know how wonderful they could be, things got really bad. So everything was just kind of cruising, and in a 48-hour period, it plummeted. Hard and fast. Like, I still look back, like, how much could happen from a Friday to a Sunday? Those are supposed to be like the safe days, right? But it started on a Friday afternoon. I wrote the biggest check of my life at the time to the IRS. Now they've gotten bigger, in a good way. But it was the first time my business had profited. I had a clinical nutritionist, I had my own private practice, and I had not properly allocated taxes. I was not taught to do that. And so the year before, I filed an extension. Well, that Friday, I paid it off, paid my taxes, a good citizen. And that left my bank account pretty much wiped out. I mean, I was already paycheck to paycheck, but that was all of the savings. I was also notified that night that my dad was diagnosed with, at the time, something we thought had 5 years. He was the one that always bailed me out of things, so that's the key point to that story. And the last thing that I had no idea was going to happen was that on that Sunday morning, I walked in after working out, and my boyfriend of 4.5 years said, "I love you, honey, but this isn't going to work." Did not plan for first and last month's rent and deposit that weekend. So I moved into a brand new apartment, and after wiping out every single thing I had $70 to my name. Sat on that apartment floor with clothes. When I moved into his house, I gave up everything I had, sold everything I owned. So I had clothes. And there was that point, have you guys ever been like so stressed, so overwhelmed, like so sad, so angry, you feel nothing? Like, I was just numb. Like, I didn't know where to begin. But I remember thinking, like, I can't call dad, right? Like, can't have more stress. I actually moved at the end of September, and it wasn't until Thanksgiving that he found out I moved. That's how much I protected. Like, I didn't want to add stress to his life. And the only reason he found out was because they're coming to my house. And I was like, oh, I don't live there anymore. Just for the record, right? So much happened in that first month. Shortly after, on that day, I called my sister. I begged her, I said, please lend me $500 until Friday when I get paid. I just have to get through the week. If I get paid on Friday, I'll pay you back. She obviously did not hesitate. Got through the week, right? Some other really amazing things happened that week. And I'm going to break down the compensation plan with you with everything that started to happen in the very first week. Because when I tell people, go fast. Like, do not rip off this Band-Aid one hair at a time. Just go fast, dive in. It's the best thing that'll ever happen to you. I mean it wholeheartedly. Now, if I can go back to what I know now, would I do some things differently? Probably. However, you just got to dig in, okay? So, I want to just share one other cool thing before I go into the first few weeks of Isogenics. Last week, or 2 weeks ago, 2 weeks tomorrow, who loves pina colada? Anyone building a business love pina colada? Wow. But at 9:50, like 10 minutes before the back office closed, I had the privilege and honor of FaceTiming with my mentor, who's a multimillionaire in this company, and my sister, and we ran the dance on the same day. The same girl that lent me money 2 years ago. You guys, amazing. Huge. Super numb, and this lady called me, and she was like, "Hi, is this Lauren?" And I was like, "Yeah." She's like, "Hi, this is Jan Elo from Spokane, Washington." Who? What? Why are you calling me? She tells people I was the most hostile person she ever talked to. Anyone here a skeptic? The woman has more class than anyone I know, and I'm pretty sure I dropped the F-bomb like 10 times in 5 minutes. Still apologizing. She's like, "Oh my gosh, I'm so glad I got a hold of you. I heard what happened to you, and I'm gonna change your life." You are. Who? And she starts telling me this story, and I'm like Googling at the same time. She's like, "My husband played in the NBA for 15 years. Yes, he did, okay? Like, building trust, you know, like she's telling the truth, but she said 2 very important things to me on that phone call that I will never, ever forget. One of them, she said, "What do you need most right now?" I was like, "A bed." True. And the second is she said, "I think this is a mission business. I don't do this for the money, but I've always had a lavish life, and I think everybody should live this way. Stick with me, I'm gonna change your life." I had nothing to lose. Nothing. And this woman had such power, such conviction, I was like, all right, what do I have to do? And she said, "I need you to get 2 people starting on a 30-day system and make sure they grab 2 people." What? She's like, 2 people that know 2 people. And I just remember thinking, 6 people. 6 people have to get started on the nutritionist thing. I got that. So I have this napkin. You guys, if you ever come over, I'll show it to you. It doesn't look like it should, but I tried to draw out the circles of what she wanted me to. And I remember seeing $820, which would have been a really expensive bid. Like, I was just shopping like $250. But I didn't know what I was doing, but I trusted her. And I was like, how long do I have to work? Exchanging time for money, personal training, teaching classes, seeing clients one-on-one to earn $820. It was over 2 weeks of work. And I said, I need 6 people to do this 30-day system. So I called my mom. Mom, you know how you always did the health and wellness? I think you should do this 30-day system. Why? I don't know, but it's 100% money back guarantee. It's going to work really great. And I want you to do it with me, and you have to have 2 people. Why? I don't know, this lady is Spokane said you got to have 2 people. So my aunt and my stepdad joined. They're all still in my business. The next conversation was similar with my sister. Hey, remember that elimination diet I just put you on? I think you should do this other cleanse instead. It's going to be easier. It's going to be great. Okay, I'll do what you say. And grab 2 people. Why? I don't know, but you're supposed to grab 2 people. 2 people. So her husband and a friend came in, and I called Jenny, and I was like, I got 6 people. She was like, today? I was like, yeah, what do I do? And I got a bid. And I never borrowed the $500 from Rachel. That's how amazing this compensation plan is. So I'm going to talk you through some of the stuff. In these few pictures up here, I had a lot of debt, you guys. I was almost $100,000 in debt. $65,000 in student loans, the rest in credit card debt. As of January 2014, I was debt-free. It took me 4 months to pay my debt. I've always loved the Mini Cooper. I probably shouldn't drive one because it drives like a go-kart. But the leadership pool has bought me my Mini Cooper, which I love. And I love this picture because I'll never forget Danny telling me, you're going to be on stage with a big fat check. And I was like, why? Like, what's up? Like, I couldn't even get it. Like, I didn't understand why that was important. I wasn't motivated by it. But I remember being on stage and her taking this picture. I'm like, I'm on stage with a big fat check. And that was like my dreamer turning on. That was me believing what could happen. So I want to just briefly touch on a few other people's success stories that are not just incredible women, incredible entrepreneurs, but friends of mine. Because when I went to my first event, what I saw, what made me believe, was that anybody could do this. I thought you had to be in sales, that you had to know all kinds of people, that you had to have a background in health and wellness, whatever it was. And I was like, oh my gosh, these are all ordinary people doing extraordinary things with incredible, incredible backgrounds. So Emily Vavra, you guys, she's the youngest millionaire in the company. She's not even 30 years old yet. And she's making a 7-figure income annually, not cumulatively, annually. She was a massage therapist. When she got started with Isogenic, she was sleeping on an air mattress on Holly DeMont's floor. Yesterday, she led a leadership training with John Maxwell. In 6 years, this woman has totally recreated and designed her life in her 20s. So Alexis Romano was a guidance counselor. She dabbled in the products, dabbled in the opportunity. I mean, the woman had never cycled more than a few times, ever. And then she was announced the 100th millionaire, and she's in the top 10 income earners. Incredible, incredible success when she got committed. And Laura Stevens is a really good friend of mine, you guys, and she's the most humble, down-to-earth person. But with a mom, with a husband who was deployed overseas, they were literally scrounging up change to keep their electricity bill on. And she was announced our 173rd millionaire 2 days ago. Like, I share this with you because if it's possible for one, it's possible for all. And I share these stories because I know them all, and I want you to just work on, what's the word? Believe. So, look at all those ways we get paid. I was on the phone with another network marketer in another company, and they said to me, quote this, I don't really want to do Isogenics because I think the compensation plan is too complicated. And I was like, what do you mean by that? Like, what do you mean? And they were like, well, there's this, and there's that, and there's this, and there's that, and I said, so all of those different ways that you could be earning income is stopping you? Because that's complicated. I said, in the job you have now, how many ways are you getting paid? She didn't answer. I said, do you get holiday pay? Do you get leadership pay? Do you get trips, incentive trips? I was like, I think you should study a little bit more. So I'm going to go through some of these. But you guys, we have daily pay, we have weekly pay, we have monthly pay, we have quarterly pay, we bonuses. You have your executive matches. And if any of you are brand new and you're going, holy cow, what is all that isolatin? All you have to know is that the Cougars love to throw money back at us. They came out of retirement as incredible multimillionaires. They do not try and take the answer for themselves. They give and they give and they give and they give and they give. And at the end here, Trisha and I are going to rattle off some crazy statistics that you guys are going to be like, what? So our PIVs. Who in here knows what a PIV is? And I know that I just have a slide up there, and they're probably not the easiest to read. I'm going to talk you through it. But I put the picture up of the tool that you can go find on your own or teach your team. So when I tell someone, like, oh my gosh, you just made a $25 PIV, and they say, what's a PIV? I grab the link from mygenecsbusiness.com and I send them this handout, right? So I'm showing you how to duplicate at the same time. So our PIV stands for what? Product Introductory Bonus. You guys, the best way that I can tell you to use this with your product users, 94% of your team, is a referral rebate. Sounds cooler, right? So when I talk to people and I want them to go share with someone and not feel like they're getting sold, when I say, oh my gosh, you're going to double your PIVs, it doesn't go very far. But I'm like, check it out. If you seriously tell one person gets started on the path that offers the most accelerated results, highest retention in Isagenix, our President's Pack, one person to be your accountability partner, you get an $80 referral bonus. What? $80 back? They're excited. And I say, guess what? You have two friends, right? Like, think about all the brides right now getting ready for their wedding. Getting ready for their wedding. Say that again. So, and I'm like, grab your iPhone or grab your mom. Do this together. You're going to get $320 back. Like, your product's almost already paid for, right? So taking this language, making it simple for them, getting people to understand it, but knowing it like the inside of your hand, knowing it like the back of your hand. So we have PIVs on a lot of different packs. Most common is our 30-day systems, $25 bonus. A lot of people sell pace setters, $50 bonus. President's packs are $80 bonuses. Be confident with this. When you guys can talk about this as confidently as you can, the shake, the ionic, the cleanse, your business will shift because people are borrowing your belief. Almost on a day-to-day basis, people say, I didn't really know what you were saying, but you seem to, so I did what you told me to. Like, I didn't know what Janny wanted me to do, but she did, so I did it. I went and got 6 orders. I went to my first event, you guys, as a crystal director, and had no clue what that meant. I saw Shannon Fisher write on ACNDE, and I was like, oh, that's what I did. No clue. That was like the epitome of ignorance on fire. So keep it simple for people. Who loves the coaching bonus? You all have that when you're blogging and you're not earning it. You guys know what the coaching bonus is? So when you get someone started on a system and they keep a system in their auto ship, right? Not a la carte product, you continue to earn that referral rebate every single month. So typically PIVs were a one-time bonus when you first get someone started. But if I sign someone up on a 30-day system and I put the 30-day system in their auto ship and that comes out, and the next month that comes out again, or maybe they go to the Shake and Shop pack, or maybe they go to the Health and Longevity pack, whatever that bonus is, you are going to get every single month. Like, my favorite call ever is when people are like, what's the coaching bonus on the compensation plan? I'm like, well, you weren't in Dallas, but let's talk about it. And if you guys are confused, like, literally look it up. Look the Isagenix coaching bonus. But again, this is them paying you over and over and over for the work you do once. It's so amazing. It's so brilliant. Holiday pay. Who in here has ever earned holiday bonus with Isagenix? Stand up. Let people see who you are. Who's ever earned holiday bonus? You guys, that's a big deal. Now, did any of you, stay standing, stay standing only if you've earned holiday pay with your other job, not Isagenix. So one. Do you guys see that? So as a new clinical nutritionist, guess how many employees were in that office? I gave you a hint. I would have never had holiday pay. I actually used to dread the holidays because you want to know how many people hire a nutritionist in December? Yeah, it wasn't a fun month. And the first time I got that, I was like, Jenny, I think they made a mistake. She's like, why? I've been with the company 2 months and like $4,000 got loaded on my card. I was like, they just paid me like $4,000. And she was like, what? Was it this one? She goes, oh my God, it's your holiday pay. And I was like, holiday pay? Like, I mean, that's how amazing this compensation plan is. How many people in here make accidental money with Isagenix? Like got money, you're like, how did I make that money? Like, I want to be with a company that's so generous, like people don't even know how it's getting thrown at them. So our rank advancement bonuses, you guys, I want you to learn this inside and out for yourselves and for others. If I have personally enrolled you or you're on my team and I have pushed you to rank advance, I want you to rise, please. You guys, the biggest part of my team is in California, and the second biggest part is in New Jersey. And in this room right now, do you guys see these people that have all ranked advance? Give them a round of applause. So Danny used to get me out of my comfort zone because she knew how bad I needed these rank advancement bonuses, and that they only were coming around once. So when I got started, I had 30 days to hit Crystal Manager. It took me less than 48 hours. I had 90 days to hit Crystal Director, and I had 6 months to hit Crystal Executive. I went Executive in 5 weeks. I've never fallen out. I'm about to go through it for the 5th time again. I have over 40 consultants. That is because I get my people paid. She would tell me, get your people paid, get your people paid. Be like them on white on rice. Be like them on white on rice. Do not let them get paid. This is a huge opportunity. They're only going to do this. They believe in the compensation plan. She would drive me nuts. I would like lay down to like go to bed, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I gotta text that person. I gotta email this person back. I gotta, you know, like making sure I was getting them paid. But the best joy in Isagenix for me is when I get one of 2 calls. I'm the first one to find out that that last order just went in, that they hit Crystal Director or Crystal Executive, right? That real-time moment when someone hits 5 second bonus this morning. And the second is on Mondays, when people get paid. Because I have people crying on a weekly basis, sharing what Isagenix just did for their family. And when I push people, you guys, I want you to take this home with heart and duplicate it. It is not about me. It is what I know I can do for somebody else. I knew when Janny pushed me, it had 0 reflection on her own success. She ran me and this girl, Jessica Rigner, to 3-star in less than 6 months together. When we both went 3-star, Janny had gone from 6-star to 8-star. We didn't even know. She didn't even know. We were all on the phone, and Cindy calls and celebrates her. And she was like, oh my gosh, I just maxed out my business. She was so committed to our success. And that's what this is about. When you can really pour into others, and you can really, really get them out of their comfort zone to do the unthinkable, like that's where the joy happens. So these rank advancement bonuses, when you hit consultant, U plus 2, what happens? Tell me again. $50. It's amazing. Every time you help someone become a consultant, one of your personally enrolled find their 2, what happens? For the first how many times? 20. That's an extra $2,000 every time you teach one of your people to just go find 2 friends or 2 family members. $100. When you hit Crystal Manager, they used to give us 30 days, now they've extended it. I encourage you to play with the 30 days. What is the bonus? $250. When you hit Crystal Director, what is it? When you hit Crystal Executive. You guys, my friends come over and they literally tease that I have an ice couch, I have an ice bed, because I used to like get these bonuses and like go to American Furniture. I would like FaceTime Jandy. I was like, look, I just bought this on ice wall of cards. Like I didn't have to put it on layaway. Like I'm not on a payment plan. Like it was amazing. And so when I start talking to people and I enroll them, and we're talking about that Mount Crystal Executive in 80 days, I say I want to know right now what is $10,000 going to do for you and your family in the next 6 months. What do you mean? I said, well, this is the steps. I do not do you plus 2, them plus 2. I do, but I start to ask them questions like, can anybody in your family budget benefit from an additional $5,000 to $10,000 in the next 3 to 6 months? And they start to tell me what it'll do. And I said, okay, this is what we're going to do. Your job as a leader, your job as a mentor, is to give them the tracks to run on. Their job is to do the work. So I say, do this, and then if they do it, we do this next. If they're there, then they stay there, right? Do this first, and then do this, and then do this. Kristen Burgess, one of my executives, and she's one of the most coachable person ever, but I literally call her my what next girl, because she'd be like, what next? What next? I can do that. What next? I can do that. I mean, it's so awesome to see her business skyrocket because she trusted the process. Totally trusted the process. When you hit manager, you are now eligible for the 1-star bonus. You used to be paid as executive to earn that. How much is the 1-star bonus? How much? $1,000. $1,000. $12 to cycle 10 times if you're at the manager paid level. That is game-changing money for people, you guys. Game-changing. Some people have never gone paycheck to paycheck. Some people don't know what that feels like. But it is the majority place for a lot of people. There's a lot of people that do not go on the vacations they want to. They don't drive the cars they want to. They don't shop where they want to. They have debt that they don't want. Game-changing money. Push these people. The night I was going to hit Crystal Director, I had 4 consultants and 2 pirates. Anyone here not know what a pirate is? They're 1 away. So they're U+2, they have U+1. They're looking for the other person, okay? So I had 4 consultants and then 2 people that were both 1 away. And Janie was like, oh my gosh, you're so close to Crystal Director. I was like, oh, what? Like, huh? Like, I didn't really get it. And I remember telling her, I'm supposed to go to sushi. She's like, what? I was like, this is the first time I've been out in a couple weeks. Like, I'm supposed to go to sushi for this girl's birthday. Like, I'm not going to call these people. It's not going to happen. And she goes, go to sushi in 2 years. I was like, that's a long time to wait for sushi. She goes, I need you to give me a 2-year commitment. I was like, I've not met this woman in person yet, just for the record. But more than that, she said, Lauren, you have $1,150 on the table. You work for $12.50 for 2 master's degrees. What do you want more? Do you guys think I went to sushi? No, I did not go to sushi, and I asked those people those tough questions. I had a girl that was wanting to go Crystal Manager. I hope she's live right now. And she was like, oh, this, and then the next day, well, this happened, and the next day, and blah, 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 and then this happened, and the next day, and the next day. And I sent her a voice memo. Who loves voice memos in Facebook? Yeah, so I sent her a message. I said, you know what? You told me you were going Crystal Manager last year at Celebration when it was your real deadline. You're so grateful that they gave you this extension. And I said, I see where you check in on Facebook. I know that you're eating out. I know you're at the movies. And I don't care if you go Crystal Manager or not for me, but I know you're wide. I know what $450 is going to do for your family. Call me back when you hit it. Want to know how long it took her to hit Crystal Manager? 60 minutes. Jen Blair, if you're watching. So it's willing to push people, and that is what red in me. It really, really is, but it's because I care. It's really because I care. There have been people at my house to the 11th hour on a Sunday night, working the back office, like trying to get that last order, and it is the best. But these rank advancement bonuses, you guys, they're available for everybody, and this is not about you, it's about others. Get to their why, figure out what this will do for their family, and then just get committed to making it happen. Work backwards, right? If someone says, I want to lose 20 pounds, do you guys think Scott and Laura can help them lose 20 pounds? They work backwards. Okay, 2 pounds a week, here's your food plan, here's your exercise plan, like whatever. And if they don't eat the right way and they don't work out, they're going to lose the 20 pounds. So people tell me I'm going 1 star. I'm like, awesome. 10 cycles. This is the amount of conversations, this is the amount of enrollments, this is the amount of rank advancements. Don't overcomplicate it, just be willing to do the work. Leadership pools. Who in here has made money in the leadership pools? This is incredible money. The company puts out over $5 million for the leadership pools. If you're paid as executive or above. And then they added the director pool. That is divided by shares every single month based on how many shares you earn and how many people are playing in the pool. So it fluctuates. But this was game-changing money. I actually remember when I was building my business and I wanted to put people places, and Jenny and Cindy would be like, keep your benchmark low. And I was like, what? And I was like, why are they all going over here? That is 2 legs, whatever. I just did what they told me. But the first 6 months in the executive 1-star pools, how much did it cap at each month, you guys? Do you guys know? $5,000. You're eligible for 6 months once you hit executive. I earned just shy of $30,000 and maxed it out 5 months, and the last month was like $4,900 and some change. $30,000 in leadership pool money in my first 6 months of the company was more money than I'd ever made in a year. Like when people say, are you a belief in network marketing? Like I really am a 10. And it didn't take me long to get a 10 because that money just came in because I did the work. I'm going to talk to you about what it takes to do the work, but these are incredible. I have people in the pools that I know I drive them nuts. Like, I know I drive them nuts because I'm trying to do the math and figure out the shares because I want them to be on stage with a big fat check. I get what that means. And it's not that you're on stage, but it's like the whole like $15,000 that you did in 2 months or 3 months is life-changing. That is half the average salary for a lot of people. Would you guys agree? Yeah, it's huge. So here's the cycles. again for anybody new. Residual income. What I remember thinking when I saw this was, in some of the other slides, they actually talk about the profession for the cycle, right? So 1 star, 10 cycles is like a massage therapist or a teacher, right? Like 30 to 40,000 a year. And what I saw was like, I'm not going to get a lot of massage therapists to quit their job and do this full time. I'm not going to get a lot of teachers to quit their job and do this full time. But what I saw was, what would a massage therapist life be like if they were able to double their income by doing Isagenix in their part-time hours? What could $1,000, $2,000, $3,000 extra a month do for a family? Very few people are going to do this full time, and that's okay. Kathy Cooper celebrates everything when this happens. Every single product experience, every single share, every single bonus, every single PID, no matter what it is. But look at that. And I don't know who was up here, they said I'm only cycling 1 time. I think that was Natalie, about being grateful for it. 1 cycle a week residually, it's huge. It's so huge. So look at this, and what I want you guys to do, if you haven't already, take a screenshot, put a date by where you want to be next, and make it happen. So right now you are not a 1 star. I want all of you to commit to hitting 1 star for sure by the end of the year, and I think it's possible by the summer if you guys get to work, right? If you're 1 star, when are you going 2? If you're 2, when are you going 3? And it's not about the rank, it's about what you do for others, and it's about pushing yourself out of your comfort zone. So wherever you are, take a picture and put the date by it. And what I would love for you guys to do right now is honestly post this on my wall with your date. If you're up for it, if you're friends with me, post your picture, put your date up there. I'm going to hold you committed. Don't test me. Don't test me. So the crystal reset, who loves this? Woo! All I'm going to tell you is, again, the Coopers love to give money away. They really, really do. So again, they said, we're going to let all those clocks start over. I mean, anybody who's enrolled before January 11th, even those that had already hit Crystal Executive, they reset the clock with the extended time. I hit Crystal Manager again. I'm 2 orders away from being Crystal Director again, and I will for sure hit Crystal Executive again. And not because I want the bonus, but I want to show people that this can be done. And even though I did it once and twice, I will always do the work. PK Smith once told me we have 2 jobs in Isagenix: to get to executive and create executives, and then just keep doing it. You don't get to executive and stop, right? The same 10 consultants I had in 2013, some of them are there, most of them are not. But I went out and created new ones, and new managers, and new directors. And if you guys really want this incredible life full of time freedom and financial freedom, you never stop. You never stop. This is what you do, and you don't ever stop because it beats on your heart so strong what it's done for you. You cannot keep your mouth closed. You want to help other people. Do you guys get that? Like, I've never felt like this sold shapes, ever. I've been so fortunate that Janie called me and how she found me, that every single day I open up my mouth because I'm like, there are way too many people that need the strawberry shake, right? Print this out if you guys don't have it. Your Map to Crystal Executive. Put the date by it. What's the deadline for the Crystal, you guys? What? Okay, I want you to print this out. I want you to hang it in 5 different places. And I want you to put it next to your biggest distractions. Your TV, possibly your computer based on what you're doing with it, refrigerator, right? And I want you to see it. And I want you to write your why across the top. Why do you do Isagenix? I want you to write your why across the top. I want you to put a date of when you're hitting this. And I want you to get laser focused every single day. Yes, it starts with U+2, but remember when I said, but you got to do it 10 times, right? You're looking for 10 friends, 10 family members that you can impact their life. You can set them free physically and financially, and then teaching them how to tell at least 2 other people. You guys, this is 31 people. I thought something like executive was so daunting to me, and then I remember looking at it, I was like, 31 people? That's like half of my average spin class. It's not a lot of people. Not a lot of people. My organization is around 8,000 right now. Just a couple months ago, it was about 5,000. We're bringing in hundreds a week. I've personally enrolled about 300 people. How we got to 9,000, 8,000? It's because of duplication. Because I teach people to do this. So, so, so important. Okay, will you pull up the screenshot? Alright, so together Trish and I are going to read this. Who in here knows P.K. Smith? Who loves P.K. Smith? Okay, so we're going to, if you pull up, I'll read it. So I want to read you a couple, and then we couldn't get the numbers right last night, so just text P.K. he'll send it to us, right? So the first thing here, well, I'm going to back to that one actually. 83% of all women who make six figures are in network marketing. So when I had my first six-figure year, I went to people that I thought were successful, and I said, just out of curiosity, how much do you make? And not because I wanted to show them another way, but I didn't believe the statistic, right? My cousin was a PA, she's got to make six figures, right? Health psychologist at a hospital. Like, me there, my friend that was a DO, my friend that was a chiropractor, and I was like, wow, none of these people make that type of income, right? They have master's degrees, they have PhDs. Like, get excited about that. Okay, so we're going to read these numbers. I want you guys to write them down, because I couldn't put it up there. It just got to be too small, but how powerful this is. So, this comes from P.K. Smith, and Ben Kelly has kind of reworded it. But network marketing as an industry, you guys, it's a multiple billion-dollar industry. There was $171 billion in the industry. This is all from 2015. And from that $171 billion industry, there were 500 people earning $1 million a year, seven-figure income earners. 500. So there's a statistic that comes from Eric Worre, GoPro, that Isagenix, our company, made $725 million. So of a $171 billion industry, Isagenix, little Nancy to the pots, $725 million. We created 25 seven-figure income earners. So 0.5% of the total revenue from network marketing. 0.5%, not even one. Okay? And we created 5% of network marketing seven-figure income earners. So to sum it up, we're 1,120% more efficient than other companies. Now I can't remember that, so I'm going to tell you the one I do remember. Most companies have to do $350 million in gross revenue to create a millionaire. Isagenix has to do 29. That's because they give back. So if you want to know if this compensation plan works, think about what we're doing compared to other companies, right? Get really, really excited about that if you are in the right home. Jay Bennett has a shirt that says, Isagenix is where network marketers go to retire. I love it. I love it. Okay, so I'm going to wrap up with this, and then we're going to dive into our panel. I just did a training call actually with Janny and Jessica Rigner, specifically on this topic. Tracy O'Malley often says that you see the glory, you don't see the story. Network marketing is incredible, and it will pay you differently and more advantageously, I believe, than anything else. I've made more in 2.5 years with Isagenix than I would have in over a decade in my practice. That is not a claim, that's my personal story, and everybody's journey is different. Some people will do this part-time, some people will do it full-time, some people will do it super full-time. You know, we all go at different paces, but what I want you to know is the only difference is the amount of conversations that we have. We get just as many no's, but we're willing to talk to that many more people. So some of you have seen Susan's slides say 3 by 3 by 3, right? You call 3 people a day, follow up with 3 people a day, do 3 acts of kindness a day. I've never done less than 10 by 10. That's not including 3-way calls, conference calls for my team. That's my own personal connections. Trisha asked me yesterday, where am I getting leads from? Right? She was like, where are you still getting leads from? Are you building on Facebook? And I said, no, I just go out of my house. And then she watched me prospect 3 people last night in an hour-and-a-half dinner. And not because I was prospecting them, but because I remember what it was like to wait tables. And I looked at a man that came over to our table and said that he was exhausted. Whether or not that was from St. Patrick's Day is debatable, but. And so this graph comes from the 4-year career, and it shows that in the beginning, you guys, it's a lot of time and not a lot of money. But but it quickly shifts. And I said to Cindy Hedges, who here knows Cindy Hedges, at the Welcome Home Challenge, the night that I hit 5-star, and it was very surreal, and I was like trying to sit there and even like figure out what just happened. And I said, I think I'm finally at the point where most people quit before it happens. She said, what do you mean? And I said, because really, up until right now, I've had to do the work. I do every event, every call, every training, every webinar, right? Because like Laura said, with or without you, I'm going. I saw this vision. I had a girl walk out of here in the opportunity meeting, said I invited her to a pyramid scheme. I said, I'll be here when you're ready. I said, I love you, I care about you, I'm not going anywhere. I'll be here. Took Laura Stevens 4 years to say yes to Kelly Dicker Huff, right? It's not gonna faze me. It makes me wanna work harder, it makes me wanna go find more people. But in the beginning, it was just me. And there's this point right now that like, I was in Arizona and hardly anybody called me. Because they're like, she's in Phoenix. So they called all my other leaders. Wind Down Wednesday went on without me. I'm knowing about people recommending secondhand. I'm not the first to know, and it is the most beautiful thing. But I stuck it out. I stuck out the judgment. I stuck out people unfriending me on Facebook, right? I stuck out people saying, oh, are you one of those things? I stuck out people judging me as a leader, who I was meriting my time for, who I wasn't giving enough time for, whose events I did or whatever. And it's finally shifting. So everybody's story is going to be different, every single person. But I want you to think what Trisha said. Think about what Natalie said. Think about what Laura said. And we will all tell you with 100% conviction that this business will only grow to the extent you grow yourself. And if you're sitting in this audience right now saying, I'm stuck. I've been a consultant and I've never moved. I'm a manager. I can't get out of manager. I'm only cycling 5 times a week. I'm never going to get 1 star. I've been stuck at 2-star for 2 years, right? Whatever that is, work through it. Ask your upline, ask someone in this team, ask someone in the company, like, what do you think's holding me back? I have big dreams, I have big goals, like, go after them, right? I don't get to see Trisha all the time. A couple times a year, I mean, maybe every quarter at events, and the first thing she said is, she's like, you're different. I'm like, what? And we roomed together in Vegas not too long ago. She's like, you're different. And I know the growth that I went through over Christmas, right? You have to do that. You have to face your truths. You have to be in integrity. And one of the things that I will tell you every single day is, are you doing the work? People tell me all the time it's not happening fast enough. They call me all the time, I'm not making this money yet, right? And I say, how many conversations are you having? Oh, listen to this many podcasts. I went to this. I got on that call. My podcast doesn't get you paid. How many people did you call? How many people did you share the Isogenic story to? When I built really quickly, I can remember sitting on my sofa on a Saturday afternoon going through my entire contacts. And it was one of those things, too, I just upgraded. You know how to ask if you want to sync to your Facebook contacts? Thought that was a mistake. That was a blessing. Now I have a lot more people to contact, and numbers I never thought I was going to have. Going, hey, how are you? Hey, the purpose of my call today is, I don't know if you've seen what I've been doing on Facebook, but I did this nutritional program. It was awesome. Have you ever thought about cleansing? No, okay, awesome, next. No, awesome, next. Yes, it happens all the time. So be willing to do the work. Be willing to do the sacrifices. I had someone on my team tell me, I love her because she's here, that she wasn't going to be able to come because it was her mom's birthday. And I said, celebrate on Sunday. Like, I have 2 moms coming in town from Arizona, making the sacrifices to pour into you guys because that's what this is about, right? So I'm not going to judge how hard you work. I'm not going to ever judge where you are in terms of rank or recognition or what you're making. All we're telling you is how bad do you want it. It's a total reflection of your effort to work on yourself, to learn the skills, and to get out of your comfort zone to make an impact on other people. So I really thank you guys for your time today. Please stay where you are. We're going to bring some chairs up here. We're going to close out with the panel where you can ask us whatever you want. Thank you guys so much.
Survey questions?
Yeah.
Or go off of
Whatever you think. Whatever you think, what you think. Stay tuned, panel. Do you want to use my computer? You got him?
Yeah, I got them pulled up. Or I just get pulled up actually.
Okay, so all of these questions that we're going to ask first are from you guys that you should have received an email this morning, probably on your drive-in, as to kind of the most popular questions. So these are all coming straight from where you guys were answering the questions that you want to be answered. So the first one was, how do you guys overcome price objections? Take that one on. Price objections. So how do you guys overcome price objections? I'm continuing across with me.
Hi, I'm Heidi. Well, I'll tell you what, a few weeks ago I was talking to somebody who was drinking a $4.50 latte that was telling me she couldn't afford the shakes. So one of the things I like to say when someone expresses a concern about the cost is, it's interesting. Can you hear? Okay, can you hear me? Okay. It's interesting, if somebody asks you what your mortgage is, your rent, your car loan, you can almost immediately say what that is. But with food, it's not that way. With food, we buy a little here, we go grab a latte, and then I ask them, how much do you think you spend per day on food? I had one guy tell me, about $70 a day. And I'm like, for your family? Oh no, just for me. I said, I can save you some money. So, get a gauge of where they are. Now, the gal that I asked this to was drinking the $4.50 latte said, probably about $5 a day. And I said, well, you've got 50 cents left for the rest of the day. So, really getting in that mindset of this is a redirect of your grocery budget. It's instead of, not in addition to. And, recognizing that, to me, what I like to always say is this is not only the best value per dollar nutritionally, it's the best bang for your buck per dollar. But you know what? Pay now or pay later. Because if you're going to sacrifice your health, this is what we're providing with our nutritional solutions is a health insurance policy. And it's really the best one I know of.
I'm not going to add anything, but I am going to say, if you go to, it's not a plug, but if you go to Trisha Wilkins on YouTube, there's actually a video by Chris Harder, and he does a beautiful job of explaining this, and it's really about really getting to their goals, because if their goals are aligned and you get it and they get it, there's not going to be a price objection, right? But then it's just about letting them know there's a path for every budget, every goal, and then you're going to do exactly what Heidi said on figuring out how much money they have to spend and saying, listen, is it $10 a day or $20 a day? Where do you want to start?
Can you see that maybe again? YouTube.
Yeah, it's on my YouTube. It's Trisha Wilkins, and it's on One Team University with Chris Harder.
She did such a phenomenal job up here. We should have to do more today. Definitely that isn't that exact call, but I've listened to Chris Harder go through it, getting people's goals and what they're already spending, and asking enough discovery questions that you find out where they are. But one of was, and this has to do with people's why, it takes them to an uncomfortable place, but how much are you spending on your exterior self to help your interior self feel better? This is very specific to women. You start finding out what women spend on makeup, on hair, on purses, on nails, on shoes, on shopping. That every time they have an event, instead of trying to get into their clothes that fit, they're spending more money on something to try and cover up where they don't feel. And if you are able to ask that question to someone and saying, hey, in 30 days, I'm going to get you back into the clothes you want to wear instead of having to spend new ones. You know, maybe sacrifice a pedicure or manicure this month. Do it yourself because of what you're going to feel like from the inside out in a matter of weeks. It's not an easy conversation, but it's a real one and it's a transformative one.
Thanks. Awesome. I just want to add that this was the number one bar that went across. People are worried about price. That was our number one question from you guys that you wanted answered, so we'll probably give the longest response for this one. If you're hesitating on price, what is happening? So if you don't believe that it's worth the value, what are you oozing? What are they picking up on? They're picking up on how you're feeling, what you believe. She had $17 and she sacrificed her refrigerator. Just don't let your beliefs get in your way. So use that feel, felt, found. I used to feel like, oh, would spend $559 on some kind of thing. Then I felt like, you know, maybe this nutritional intervention system could really work. I found that this is the easiest way to see the fastest results. And what I love about it is that it's not just a quick fix. I'm now seeing that people are saving money and they've changed their lifestyle. Long term, they've invested this up front, but they're saving money and they're doing it months later because they started out right. So when you believe it, the more and more you will just ooze that right feeling.
The only thing I might add to that is Jim and Kathy started this business so that people could not use the excuse to not be able to afford it. That's why it is in network marketing. I mean, they could have taken these products and sold them to the big box stores and they didn't. So really having the belief in, okay, so you're saying that you can't afford it, are you open to me showing you how it's possible for you?
And finally, because I think this will help some of you, I had somebody come during the break and ask me about, you know, should I share the 30 days with this person who has this and this and this issue? Well, when you are shopping, you know, say you want to go shopping with your girlfriend, you're not going to go to one section and that's the only section in the entire store you're going to look at, right? I mean, who does that? Okay? And ISGX, it's the same thing. We have so many solutions, so many packs, and yet most of you are sharing the same pack every single time. You're taking away their ability to choose. You're taking away all their options when they have beautiful options. We have a business builders pack. We have a president's pack, a pace setter, 30-day. We have all these different packs, and yet here you guys are sharing the 9-day cleanse or the 30-day. That's how you started, right? What if our brides had come to me and said, we have a 30-day. I know you're free. I know you're really poor, so here's our 9-day. You know, she didn't do that. She shared me the president's pack because she wanted me to be successful. She's saying, well, her husband has a business bigger than Isagenix. All right? They are very wealthy. She didn't care about the $8 rebate. She wanted me to be successful, and so she gave me all of my options. I share a lot of business builder packs. Why? Because it's the perfect pack for couples, for families. It's a huge tax write-off, right? So start at the top, and if you look on YouTube at PK Smith, he has an awesome video on this, but you start at the top, and you go down. Because the human psyche doesn't like starting at the bottom, going up and increasing. Start at the top, the best, and go down. More than likely, they're going to choose one of the middle options, right? Instead of choosing the worst, okay?
Since we did have a lot of questions, we'll kind of go through this for a lot of people. I love what you were saying about the value. I never thought the President's Pack was expensive in terms of selling it because the doctor's office I used to work in, it was one of the top functional medicine offices, it actually is here in Denver, and they used to charge for like a package of supplements and 6 visits, whatever, almost $3,000. And people paid it because they saw the value, right? So for me to offer something that I actually thought was giving it work better for under $600, I was like, they're giving this away for free. Like that was my mindset with it. But when I had a lot of people telling me, this is so expensive, Lauren, this is so expensive, I
I want you to do me a favor. Go shop this industry. Go find out what people pay for 6 personal training sessions. I used to train here at DU. It's more expensive. I think the president's back. Go find out what Jenny Craig costs, what Weight Watchers cost. Go find out about Slimgenics, what people are paying per pound up front, no money back guarantee, and how different it is. I love what you said about being able to introduce the opportunity. I think that's the best way ever when people are really concerned about the income. But assuring them that it's a 30-day trial. I'm like, there's no risk, because if it doesn't work, you can send it back. Laura and Scott have full intentions of sending it back. Trisha knew it was going to work. I just knew that this was going to get me in bed. We all came in and but getting people to understand that value, but it's true. If you're giving a cost objection, it's because you think it's expensive. That's not an objection I get. It's that belief, it's that posture, but figure out what areas holding you back, and if it is just even understanding the industry. If you're objective, if you're a white, you got to do a spreadsheet of what people are spending elsewhere, do it, because your belief will skyrocket, because there's so much value in this. And that call that Trisha's referencing, when you're asking people what they're already spending, I was spending $100 to $150 a month at Starbucks, and I was on a $30,000 salary a year. On $30K, I was still able to spend $100 to $150, right? Because there was value behind it. For whatever reason, I saw value in that. Go look at your friends that don't have a flat screen TV, don't have an iPhone. There's value in it. So our job is for them to see the value. And I also think that people bring up the cost because it's a cop-out, and it's because they're afraid to fail again. Right? So they've done everything else, and they don't believe that Isagenix is going to be any different. So I like to do what's called a U-turn, and I bring it back, and I say, if cost was not an issue, what is keeping you from getting started today? Then you get the real reason. The cost comes null and void. Does that make sense?
And the why, I think you guys touched upon it. If losing that weight means catching up and playing with your kids again, or running after your dog, or crushing that next Ironman, like getting to their why and building the value and price backwards in that way. But we've built so much belief now on the price, I gotta just share what Scott says.
Yeah, so again, coming from the male perspective of all this, I sometimes come at a completely different angle than the ladies do, and I keep it so simple. Not that you don't, but what I try to, I literally keep it to a 10-minute conversation when I sign people up, because I tell them, listen, I can go over this with you all day. I can tell you all the wonderful ingredients that are in these packs, but the only thing that's going to really affect you is putting this stuff in your body. And your biggest problem is going to be, why didn't I start yesterday? And I literally just ask them, do you like chocolate or vanilla? And they're like, vanilla. I'm like, okay, we're going to put that on your order form, so let's get this started now. And that's literally all I say to people, because again, we can go on and on and on. And I mean, for me, I just want to keep it as simple as possible, because I don't want to confuse them. Because again, you can get so much information that it becomes daunting. So I just want to keep it super quick, super simple. This is food, put it in your body, watch what happens. You like chocolate or vanilla? That's it. Or strawberry and pina colada.
So show of hands, has anyone seen the video call that Trisha's talking about, the overcoming price objections with Chris Harder?
It's awesome.
It's amazing. If you haven't watched it, I would definitely put that on as your homework for today. So the next question then is, how do you guys attract business builders?
And Scott, by the way, my conversation's only 5 minutes. And I just asked for the credit card.
Right? Exactly. Keep it simple.
Okay, so, it's all about energy. I really believe this. You really attract who you are. You attract what you're going for. So at the beginning, guess who I attracted? A lot of tired, exhausted, overweight moms. All right? As I started to lose weight and compete again, I started attracting a lot of athletes. As I become a professional network marketer, I'm starting to attract business builders. Okay? It's really about just your posture. I know it's a really simple answer, but that's how I feel.
This for sure. There's 2 things, in my opinion. One is the growth you've done on yourself, right? Of what your business is a direct reflection of what's in your head. And if you have a team that is complaining about everything,
That's who you brought in, right? You've got to work on yourself, number one. And number two is your posture and your belief. If you are a 99.9%, if you're a 70%, 40%, 50%, do not expect to bring someone that's going to borrow your belief. You've got to be able to rise people up. You've got to be stronger, right? You've got to be able to be the Janet Elo to me, the Trisha Wilkins to somebody else. I would flip this script on somebody else. I would love it when my team watched me flip a U-turn for someone that's prospecting me. Like, I mean, I'll tell you, I was driving to the airport yesterday to pick them up. I'm on the phone with my good friend Jessica Rigner, dying on the phone laughing, right? And she goes, "You're not going to believe this, but somebody just tried to add me to their Beachbody group." And I was like, "What? How? What happened?" She goes, "On Facebook messages. So would you be okay if I add you to this group?" And I said, "What did you say?" And she said, "Sure, but if you see what I'm up to." And they said, "No, what do you do?" And she said, "I became a millionaire with Isogenics in less than 2 years. Would you like to be added to my testimonial group?" And the girl said, "Well, what do you mean?" And Jessica asked her, she goes, "Well, what's happening with your business? How are things going for you?" And she says, "Well, I make around $80 to $100 a week, and I do this business about 10 hours, 2 hours, 5 days a week." And Jessica goes, "So you're recruiting me for a business that's paying you $8 an hour?" True story. True story. But that's her posture. She's in sales, she's a numbers girl, right? But I do, and I always start by complimenting you guys. I don't wait for people to show up on my doorstep. I'm hungry for this. Isogenics is not going to be in momentum. I love it when people out of nowhere Facebook message me, or I meet someone out and the law of attraction works, and it's like everything on your intention statement of who you want to attract in shows up, and you sit by that person on the plane, or I meet that person in a coffee shop, and I'm like, whoa, like, this was pretty divine, and it just happens. But I also don't wait for people to come over and be like, "Are you the Isogenics girl? Like, I want to do Isogenics," you know? So I am adamantly adding people on Facebook. I go to networking groups, right? And I believe that we have the right company. I believe that we have the right products, the right compensation plan, and I compliment them for what they're doing, and I give them a new car to drive. Do you guys get that? So literally, like, I see people talking about Unique, or talking about Advocare, or talking about that, and I'll private message them. I said, "Hey, I saw you post about your shakes." I said, "I love that you're in network marketing." I said, "Really, what do you do?" And I said, "I'm a network marketer." I just start asking questions. Are you getting the results you were looking for? A lot of times they're not. We are a product-first company. And I say our products are proven to get results within 3 to 5 days. I would love to get you the transformation you're looking for, right? Does your company offer you a money-back guarantee? Like, if you were to try this, right? I ask the questions. I said, is it paying you? Like, you know, do you have support? Like, whatever it is. There's a lot of orphans out there that see the vision of network marketing and they don't have mentorship, right? Or they're in a company that doesn't have all those bonuses, all those compensation plans, but they know a lot of people. They're very well networked. I, on purpose, type in to Facebook Graph the people I'm looking for. The very first thing I look at after their profile picture is how many friends they have, how many followers. If you got 50 friends, that's not going to work. You got 5,000, we're getting on board together, right? Like, I'm recruiting the people that I want in my business. If they have 5,000 friends, they talk to people, right? Like, I look for the characteristics of, if someone asks me what my favorite coffee shop is, I can sell them to go to Inc. in 30 seconds. All of us are in Lululemon. We all can tell you why we need to go to Lululemon for leggings, right? So I'm looking for people that are naturally doing that. And I will go up to them and I say, "You are an amazing networker. I would love to introduce you to a phenomenal opportunity." People are like, "What?" "Let me just give you your number. I'll call you later." Because I saw them refer their friends to a nail place, or refer them to lunch, or refer them to dinner. They're already doing it, and they're not getting paid for it. So keep your eyes open for the opportunity.
It's like when we got Mini Coopers, right? We got matching Mini Coopers, and we didn't even realize it. When you guys really truly identify what you're looking for in business builders, those top 5 to 10 traits, if you can list them in your head right now, these are the exact people that will build my championship team, our championship team. They're going to be my business partners, and you will start seeing them everywhere. So
what do you guys want? Your champion, just yell it out. What are you looking for?
What traits do you want?
Ambitious. What else? Driven. Excited. Strive, excited. Passion. Coachable. Motivated. What else?
Care. Team player. Yeah. I mean, you have to identify those.
The same way you see product users, you see exhausted people, overweight people. Look for overwhelmed people. Look for stressed people. Look for driven people. Look for, Susan Fly was in corporate America. Someone had to introduce her to another way, right? Get clear on what you're looking for.
You see those pain points, right? And you convert them to waitress last night potentially. This is unbelievable. I have something to show you. You'll start seeing them everywhere. Do you guys find value in that? Yeah. Can I say something like? Okay.
I have one more thing to add. Congratulations, everyone, for being here. Because when I was sitting in your seat, I remember watching a panel of people that were multiple six-figure income earners or millionaires. I'm thinking, well, it's easy for them, but everybody starts as a team of one. So what I would say to you is you're here and you've made a commitment. And the way that I attracted business builders, I'll tell you what, the majority of my team came from those conversations I had in my first month. And it was my posture. It was my commitment. They could smell it. They can smell it. Commission growth does not smell good. So you have to be in service, but you have to know where you're going. And you have to make a commitment because no one wants to follow you if you don't know exactly where you're going. And people walked away from my first meeting with them and they said, okay, well, you know what? You mentioned something about weight loss. I'll buy your president's pack and I'm probably going to send it back in 30 days. But then our products speak for themselves and so many of those were like, okay, I lost 15 pounds. I feel amazing. What do you want me to go to an Isogenics University with you? Okay. So my recommendation is you're here. You've made a commitment. Go out there and be rock solid in your belief on where you're going, and that's the way to attract business builders.
And just don't judge book by its cover.
Yeah.
Because if Barbara Price would have looked at me, she never would have guessed that I'd be her biggest business builder and would have surpassed her within 3-4 weeks. Right? And she's a business builder. So don't look at a tired, stressed out, overweight mom who's broke and say, oh, she's just a product user. Don't go out and just look for big fish. Your big fish are sitting right in your backyard, right? You can turn them into business builders. I have some pro athletes that are really doing nothing in my business, and they have all the potential in the world. And yet my biggest business builders are stay-at-home moms and dads that are just living paycheck to paycheck, and they're hungry. They're hungry, and they go out and do something about it.
My 2 cents, meet people where they're at. I came in, I was like, don't freaking talk to me about business. I really was like that. And now here I am building a business, earned nearly 6 figures last year. So, and that was just in a couple of years. So you just never know. So really, really love on your product users. Give them what they need. Make sure they feel supported. So when the timing is right for them, because it really is about timing, that'll click. And they will never have felt like a number to you. Because if you make them feel like a number, they'll never build this business. So the last thing is that commitment and consistency of persistence. Because I hung up on my friend Bethany, who was friends with me, right? I went with the products, did cause Caesar. I hung up on her for years until we were starting to break. Because I was never seeing this guy. I was waking up in the morning training. I'd be putting the boys to bed at night, and I'm like, they're never seeing their father. And finally, she was calling me every couple months. And finally, she called me one day, and I'm like, oh my gosh, we're breaking. Like, yeah, we've got this fantastic gym business that's taking off, but now I'm feeling like our family's falling apart. And it was that very one day that changed everything, because she was persistent, that I then, took another look. Saw my friend go through it. So just know, like you said, that the process will happen, the belief will happen, and it is a process, but you have to persist. You never know when that day is going to change. Who knows what I did Isogenics in 2008?
What's that?
Yeah, I did 9 days, and I never looked at it again. I couldn't care less. And everybody promised me all kinds of stuff. The timing was not there. So like, not now is totally okay. I love that. Who's using the new associate interview? Don't lie. Every one of you should have 2 hands up. If you're not, start using it. It is so duplicatable. It is so fun to go through with people, but you find out from jump where they're at. And then you can revisit it because things change, but you find out right away if they're looking to do this or not. Like, don't push people that don't want to be pushed. 90% of our company just uses the products. Ensure they have an amazing product experience, right? Let them come to you when they're ready, but find that out, because what we want for others, they don't necessarily want yet, right? They haven't worn the glasses yet.
All right, we've got time for probably one more question.
Talk to the potential that you see in people. Never talk to them where they're at. Always talk to them at where they even know they can be. You see this for them. Like that is going to help them build the belief in themselves. But never talk to where the people are at because they're stuck in their circumstance. But you talk to their potential. It'll make a huge difference. Sorry.
We have time for one more. It's 10:03.
We were just chatting up here. We've all sat there and loving the panel. The Kathy Cooper's panel is sometimes the best. Do you want us to wrap up on time at 3, or do you want us to go another 15 minutes? You can have more panel questions. You guys decide. Raise your hand if you want us to go about 10 minutes extra to have more panel questions.
Be honest.
Yeah, be honest. Don't put your mouth in. Okay, we'll go through like 2 more then. Yeah.
Okay, so let's do this one then. How do you guys inspire or motivate the vision in your downline?
What?
How do you inspire or motivate the vision into your downline?
Okay, so there's so much that goes into this. I love the interview because it really helps, like Lauren said, it helps you to see where they're at. How do you inspire vision in people? How do you motivate your kids? Like, how do you motivate yourself? What inspires you? I mean, for me, it's really about people have stopped dreaming. Completely stopped dreaming. They've forgotten how. I mean, I have this conversation all the time. People are just like, I don't know what I would do with $10,000. And it takes me like literally 10 minutes just to figure out what they can do and not having to do with debt or paying a bill or something, right? Because people just have shut down. And so it's about, helping them be a kid again for a minute. What did you want to do when you were a kid? Like, what stopped that? What do you want to do with your family? If you could be anywhere in the world right now and time, money weren't a problem, what would you be doing? Right? So trying to get them to start dreaming. That's the first step, is dreaming. And then you can show them how you can turn that dream into a reality, and here are the steps. You have to constantly paint a picture. And I'll just finish with just this last thought that, it's scary. I have to stand up. Okay. It's scary being on the skinny branch. Like, everybody's always scared that if you're vulnerable and you share your heart and your dreams and your passion and everything, people are going to judge you, right? Okay? If you go around telling your friends and family you're going to be a millionaire in this company and you're going to create freedom and you're going to be on the beach in Maui doing whatever you want, and you're going to have this sexy, awesome body, and they're going to look at you and think you're crazy, right? Because who are you? Like, why do you think you deserve that? Right? The reality is that people that go first, I was so scared to get on that branch. But what I found is that the farther out I got on that branch, the more people were out there to catch me if I fell. Like, all those people I thought would judge me were actually supporting me. Even the ones that didn't join me in the dream still supported me. Right? So you talk about leaders go first. You have to be vulnerable. You have to share your dreams. You have to lead the way and show everybody else how to dream. And when you do that and you paint that picture, you become this light in the darkness that your team will just follow because they believe you. And eventually they'll get to the point where they believe themselves. And then, even more beautiful, is when I see like my leader, Lindsay Brzezinski. And I see her standing in front of a crowd, and she's the dreamer, she's the believer, and all these people are just like in tears because of this woman. And I get to say, dang, like she's doing that because I did it first. And now she's doing it because of her, other people are doing it. So that is how you get your team to dream. You dream first. You show them how to do it.
So again, really, what is she talking about? It's the word of the day. Believe. Write that down on your paper. Circle it. Put stars around it. It all starts with your belief. Everything we're doing here today, everything we're talking about, it starts there. How do you create that downline excitement? Because you believe. I tattooed it onto my arm. I can, I will. Right? That is a powerful statement for me. I believe I can and I will do it. Right? Every time I wake up, every time my back's against the wall, I look down at myself and I'm like, I can, I will. It's that belief system. It's that belief in yourself. You can't forge anyone to believe. They have to believe in themselves, and you have to show them that you believe in yourself. Because if you believe in yourself, you will attract the same exact thing. And it's scary how it works. It's scary. It gives me goosebumps. Because I see our downline growing and growing the more we believe in network marketing. Right? Before, we weren't believers in it. Yeah, we were successful individuals, but we couldn't build a team because we didn't believe. Our lenses are changing. Believe, write it down again and think about that. Continually give yourself the belief of you can and you will. Because you will support the rest of your team.
So, do you remember when Scott said that you almost had a hard time believing because it was so simple? Right? This is one of those things that gets really, really overcomplicated. Keep it simple, but getting to know your team is as simple as asking the questions. So I was the fool, the ignorant, harmless girl. I didn't even know the difference between your why and vision until I had to train on it. Eric Kruger says, why don't you train on the why and the vision? And I was like, aren't those the same thing? True story, right? But when you work with people, the why is what drives them. The vision is where they're going. And ask your team. The only way to create it is to find out. And if they don't know, help them do it. We talk about borrowing belief. There are very powerful words. I see you here. I see you here. I can see you, right? When you are here. There's not an if, right? There are borrowing your belief and you're planting that vision and asking those questions. So I ask my team, the people I'm working with closely, all the time, what are your goals this week? What are your goals this week? Where are we going, right? And that's because, not about the money, right? But I know what drives them and I know what the payoff is for that. So asking people questions like, what was the last vacation you went on, right? And then I say, how did you feel the day you showed up at that resort, that all-inclusive resort? How did you feel the day you walked onto that cruise boat? And now, how did you feel the day you were coming home and you knew what Monday was going to be like at work? How did you feel like on the last day of holiday vacation? How would you like to feel like the first day of vacation every single day? Get them to see what their life could be like. When I have moms that are so stressed out, their only time for the three-way calls, they're rushing from work to rush and get their kids from daycare. Like Alex said, the only rush she has is not getting that time back. I said, what's it going to be like when you're home and you're not picking your kids up from daycare? I don't say, if there was a way, right? What's it going to be like? I've already assumed it's happening. Imagine 2 years from now when you're home with those kiddos all the time. So the vision is they have to see it. They're looking at it from our glasses first. I love that analogy. I'm going to use the mess out of that, But see it. Janny told me, I can't wait for the day that you're not driving into that doctor's office anymore. She goes, I can't wait for you to make more than $12 an hour. And I was like, yeah, I never saw myself quitting my job. So the vision is you seeing it, but it's their vision, not yours. Where do they want to go, but believing in them that they can do it and holding them accountable.
For those of you, raise your hand if you've helped someone successfully have a great product experience. And pretty much everyone. You have the skill set then. You've painted the picture of in 30 days, you will feel amazing. You will light up. You will this. So did you see how you have put the glasses on them? By just saying you will. You're capable, you can. And then you will see it. So you have the skill set that you've already seen something before they did. That is how you light up your downline. You have to see it clearly before they do. So you could be an example yourself, but maybe you're not. Maybe you're sitting in the audience saying, but I'm not an example yet. You guys are all successful because you've been examples now. No, we were there too. So it was, well, how do I take the same skill set? I just successfully applied this to the product experience. I painted the picture and take that exact skill and now say, this is where we're going, this is where I'm going, this is what we are going to see as a team. We are going to, we say it all the time to our team. I can't wait, we're going to be at the beach. We're going to be watching all those cycles come. I can't wait for the day that it's not just Scott and I on the beach, that we have our entire team on the beach together having so much fun. You have to paint that picture. You have to see it.
Who in here, be honest, is not casting the vision with your team because you don't feel like you have a successful enough story? You're not making enough money. You have met, is there 7 of us here? 6? However many out here, right? Borrow our stories. I used to cast this vision for people, telling Emily Baber's story because I met her in Kansas city, and I was like, whoa, right? And I was like, I just met this girl, and she's 27 years old, and she used to be a massage therapist, and now she's a 6-star Golden Star going, blah, 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 blah. Like, I was just so excited, and my posture was there because I went to an event. Because I was cycling like 0 to 1 times a week and rolling the mess out of people. I passed my upline in a matter of weeks. She passed her upline in a matter of weeks, right? It wasn't our upline that was able to like show us their success. They just put us in the car. They just gave us the vehicle, right? And then someone was like, you're amazing, you're great, keep going, and be that person for someone. I love looking out at my downline, going, you're gonna pass me. You're incredible. Like, I can't wait for your business to pass mine. Like, there's 2 girls right now. I know their business is gonna pass mine, right? And I'm cheering them on, like, the mess out of them. Like, go as fast as you can. But don't wait for your own success, right? If you see the it factor in someone, you see their potential, just love on them. Just pour belief into them. Like, you don't have to be that person. Like, Jenny will never train on stage. She hates it. I hope she's watching. She hates it. Like, she wants to be on the phone with 2 people. She doesn't do different stuff. And she was like, I can't wait for you to train on stage. You're going to be amazing. She was never a trainer on stage. So you can see what other people can do that you're never going to do. Does that make sense?
The more you do it, the better you'll get at it. Just like practicing anything, right? The more you'll do it, you'll look out into an audience like this and start to see the gold in everybody.
So if there's one thing that you guys would do differently, what would it be? Or final piece?
I think we know ours.
Common network marketer.
That's simple.
Yeah, I'd get out of my own way and that I to prove everybody that my training methods were right or this was right. It was literally just, I look back like, OMG, I wasted time.
I would have used the tools and duplicated faster. I've done 3 times the work because I thought I had to be a know-it-all. I could not really push my nutritionist hat. So I would use the tools, make this so simple that anybody can do it.
I would have definitely, and I did, I've always shared the wealth opportunity and the health opportunity. I mean, they go together as one. But, you know, stress, financial stress, can make people really sick. So the income opportunity, along with our nutritional solutions, is a health opportunity in and of itself. I mean, I know, I've been there. 4.5 years ago when we started Isagenix, we had a huge financial crisis. So scary. And I just want to share this because I looked up what current CD interest rates are. And people talk a lot about residual income, but no one really ever talks about what it really, really means. So I'm going to give you, raise your hand if you cycled 1 time a week ever. Wow. Okay. At current interest rates, and I'm going to put it at 2%, the best you can find on a long-term CD is actually 1.7. If you cycle 1 time a week, you would have had to have saved $140,400 to earn that residually. That's what residual income is. Last week, and my husband's a numbers guy, last week at 2%, I would have had to have saved, holy cow, $9.5 million in the last 4 years. So I'm tying this into casting that vision because you are building an income-producing asset when you're building this company. There's incredibly generous upfront money with everything that Lauren went over. But when you can really understand residual income, you will run through that glass window to go get it. And so if there's anything I wish I would have driven home more, is I'm looking for people who really, really want to change this world and transform people's wealth, and in the process, transform people's health. What a great byproduct.
This is a hard question to answer just simply because we have to have grace. Like, we have to learn. So the journey is the process. We're going to make so many mistakes. I recognize this last few months, we're struggling a little bit in our business. And simply because I was focused in the wrong directions. I was focused on training. And I wasn't focused on doing the do. Prospecting, enrolling, right? The things that we have to do. And that inspires your team. And so I've learned from that. But what I recognized during that process is that, Susan Sly can get on stage and she can teach the things she teaches because she's been there. She's screwed up over and over and over again. Most people don't know that. Susan Sly had failed businesses all over the place. Like, she struggled and failed, and she tried again and failed before she came to network marketing and Isagenix in particular. And so why is she such a powerful trainer? Because she knows what not to do. She experienced it. She was bad at this. She was bad at that. And so I've made a lot of mistakes along the way. Okay, my husband and I were on food stamps. We made almost $400,000 in 2 years, and I made a ton of mistakes along the way. All right, a ton. So you have to be okay to be a disaster. You have to be okay learning. You have to have grace and patience with yourself. But you have to also be willing to really look in the mirror, reflect, and fix the things you know you're doing wrong. Right? You have to be coachable. When somebody tells you you're doing something wrong, listen to them because they want you to succeed. Be coachable. Right? The definition of insanity is doing the same things over and over and over again and expecting to get different results. Right? If you want different, you got to do different. And so that's what I wish I would have learned that earlier, but I'm also grateful for the process because I have learned and I've grown so much because of it.
Keep your foot on the gas. Number one thing, I went to 2-star really fast. I hit it in 8 months, and I let up. I was like, oh, this isn't really that difficult. This business is kind of easy. This is awesome. I was making great money and having so much fun. It never felt like work, and so I let off the gas. Please learn from me. Don't do that. Do not take your foot off the gas until you're making hundreds of thousands of dollars a year or whatever your goal is. Keep your foot on the gas. It is way more fun to go fast than it is to go slow, because now I've done both. And I can tell you that the former is better than the latter. So keep your foot on the gas. Bring people with you and just create excitement. If you're not having fun in this business, you're doing it wrong. This should be so much fun. You should be working with some of your best friends, and you should be changing lives. Like, that is what this is about. And if you are stressed out in this business, you need to take a step back and recollect, refocus, and re-engage with your energy in a more positive fashion, because this should be so much fun. I know some of my best friends in this business. I'm so grateful for that. But keep your foot on the gas, guys. Just go and go hard. It is not fun to go slow. Trust me. Go hard. Go fast.
And this is the last thing I'll say today. Read 2 books. All right, so write these 2 books down if you haven't already read them. First is T. Harv Eker, The Secrets of the Millionaire Mind. And number 2, sorry, I was a fast speaker. T. Harv Eker, The Secrets of the Millionaire Mind. All right, and number 2, Napoleon Hill, Think and Grow Rich. Those 2 books have changed my life. Now, I talked about a plateau that I experienced. The reason why I really had that plateau was because my identity was still so down here that 6 figures was like, wow, this is the dream life. I'm comfortable and happy, and here I am. My income ceiling was right here. And in order for me to reach my goals, which means my team are reaching their goals, I had to create a higher ceiling for my income. And those 2 books really, really taught me a lot. So if you're cycling once and you're happy, let's raise that ceiling. If you're like, I'm going to be a manager, it's going to be awesome, great. But I feel like we can raise that ceiling a little bit, right? So read those books and you'll feel a huge shift. The second book is Napoleon Hill, Think and Grow Rich. When you read the books, do what they tell you to do. Do not just read and get inspired. Do what they tell you to do.
You guys, please give a big round of applause for our panel. Okay, so we've got some prizes to give away. So Laura and I are going to ask you guys some questions. Feel free to raise your hand, and then we're going to let you give a shout out.
today, all right? So I would love someone to raise their hand and share something that they learned in the opportunity meeting about the products. Way back at 10 o'clock this morning when Trish and Nat went on the opportunity to give us one thing you learned about the product. Yep, come on up here and then you're going to grab something. Yeah, come on. What'd you learn and then grab a product?
It helps with anti-inflammatory.
Ooh. I'm going to let you get a product, but this is a coaching moment. Are you okay if I give you a coaching? Anti-inflammatory is a claim. So the only thing that's anti-inflammatory is prescriptions. So there's a word like support that it supports healthy inflammation. I know you can't say any nutrition supplements. Well, now you guys both learned something, but as nutrition supplements, we cannot say anything anti-inflammatory that like literally refers drugs. We say supports healthy levels of inflammation, but you want to say supports recovery, supports stress. Supports is your keyword. Let's try again.
Helps support healthy level of inflammation.
There you go, girl. Woo!
Let's talk about the company. Who would be someone who can describe why? Sorry, I'm like why the founders founded the company in a quick 20 seconds.
Founders of the company, the gentleman, the formulator of the product, approached the people who had been in business before and that's how we started.
Awesome. What are their names?
Jim County Cooper and Eric Cooper are the business guys, and John Anderson is the wife.
All right, so the Crystal Director Reset is not around the corner. For someone to tell me what it means to go Crystal Director and what the date is and that you're committed to doing it.
Okay, the date for Crystal Director Reset that's around the corner is May 15th, I think, and it's a $750 bonus, and that's when you've enrolled 6 personally enrolled people who each have 2, which means you've got 6 personally enrolled consultants.
Carol Toothman, you guys give a big round of applause because this is your next Crystal Director.
The next question is for anyone who just reached the Crystal Manager bonus. So if you've reached the Crystal Manager bonus, first still stand up. Who are the Crystal Managers? Okay. I would like you guys to let me know. Raise your hand if you know this. Right off the top of your head. Name 2 upcoming events, where they are and when they are.
University in Newark, New Jersey, in April, and Celebration in Las Vegas in July.
Perfect. Great Z.
You gotta know what the events are if you both get your teeth nervous.
So I went through a lot of different ways that we can get paid. I want someone to stand up or raise their hand and list 4 ways that we get paid. Yeah?
Daily pay.
Which is what? How do we get paid daily? Okay.
And then there's weekly pay.
Yeah. Which is what?
Cycle.
Yeah.
And then there's leadership goals.
That's 3. Those are add-ons. So leadership goal, that's quarterly. You're doing great. You said weekly pay, daily pay.
Coaching bonus.
Yeah, totally. Perfect. Good job. Come on.
All right, raise your hand if you have off the top of your head that you could say it without hesitation, the 5 characteristics of business builders that you know you're looking to attract. 5 things, like bum, 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 bum.
Motivated, energetic, relentless, passionate, and
Hey, there you go. All right, you guys. I want to know one thing you learned from Trisha, something that resonated on you. Going
home, you're going to be like, man, Trisha touched my heart today?
Trisha, great job on being seen. I think that's so important. And anytime people feel that, I think they're going to keep in love that you point that out. And I teach yoga, and I've done that exercise of seeing one another and seeing yourself in somebody else. And the minute you see that, like your view of that person completely changes. So thank you for bringing it up, especially in the business. I think it's so important. So.
Awesome. Very good job.
Oh, yeah. All right, so who can think of some amazing facts that they learned from our other guest today, Natalie?
She was on this, don't take your foot off the pedal, and that's something I did actually. I started 2 years ago, I took my foot off the pedal, and then I had to speak to my husband, and my foot is so fast on that pedal.
Wait, hold on. You know I like to make people uncomfortable, right? So, I really don't like when I just have words with no action. So what are you committed to in the next 30 days with that foot on full speed?
Crystal Manager.
Oh, there you go.
She knows where she's going. Okay. Well, the last one I want to give to Erin Sullivan, because Erin, thank you so much for being our guide and host. She's always so committed and helping us. She was the person up this morning walking around with all the balloons, from her apartment, leading the way. So thank you so much. And one of my newest Crystal members.
So I want to ask you guys one thing, and then we're going to get out of here. I want you all to stand up. I want you to form a circle. Just move around the chairs, push in the middle if you want. But I want everyone in a big circle, and I want you to hold hands. And if anybody wants to grab people in the hall to see if they want to join, please invite them for our closing. Otherwise, just come around. Everybody cut through the middle of the chairs. Let's just make a complete circle so everybody certainly can. All right, you guys cut in the middle so we don't have a half circle. I want you guys all to get connected. So fill in, however, if you guys move into the middle. No one's left out. Is everyone there? All right, so this is what I want you to remember today. Do me a favor and close your eyes. That baby just close up. Seriously, close your eyes because I can see all of you, okay? And I want you to right now think about what you want most right now. What did you sacrifice today to come learn from all these amazing people because there's something stronger beating on your heart? I want you to think about that vision. Think about where you're going. Keep your eyes closed. I know, get uncomfortable. Where are you going? Where do you see yourself tomorrow night when the back office closes? Where do you see yourself next week? Where do you see yourself in 30 days, in 60 days, 1 year from right now? I want you to never, ever, ever let go of the feeling that you have right now. And as you are interlocked, holding arms with all of these people, some are your closest friends and family and some are strangers, what I want you to leave here remembering is that these are the people that believe in you. This is a community. This is one team. This is a place that people want to pour love into, support you, lift you up, bring out the greatness that you have inside of you, are here when it gets tough, are here when it gets vulnerable, are here when it gets uncomfortable, and will be here for you when you succeed. When you leave these walls, when you leave this room, there are haters, there are doubters, there are naysayers. There are people that are going to trample your dreams. There are people that are going to tell you that you can't, that are going to laugh at you. They're going to hold you back. There are going to be people that want to get in the way, and I want you to come back to this place right now. Your why, your vision, your team, your family, your purpose, your passion. And at any given moment, on any given day, you guys are capable of this. And if you call 3 people and they're so excited and they all say no to you, close your eyes and say, where do I want to be in 30 days? Where do I want to be in 6 months? Where do I want to be in 1 year? Why will I not watch TV? Why am I going to call more people? Why am I going to stand out on that skinny branch and pour my heart out? Because I know it can impact somebody else. You guys, we do the Super Saturdays for you. It is a pure joy and a pure honor, a privilege, a treat to share our success simply as a vision for where you're going. We can't wait to celebrate yours. We thank you from the
the bottom of our hearts from every single one of us. Thank you for being here. Please hug a minimum of 12 people. Get your immune system up. Make sure Trisha's one of them. Ask us questions. We'll probably see you guys next time. Thank you so much.
Thanks again, guys, for joining us today. This was Super Saturday here in Denver, Colorado. Again, it was great that you guys were able to log in and see this. Again, this is all for you, and don't forget, it's all about belief. Have a great, great day.
Oh, Sarah's go Burns!